Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Something nobody will ever accuse me of having. Rhythm. AC/DC. Girls Got Rhythm. 92.1 City. Winnipeg's rock station. BJK, good morning on a Monday.
Well, you, like many others, probably showed quite a bit of rhythm. You're not giving yourself enough credit with a shovel in your hand yesterday or a snow brush in your hand this morning, because it's exactly what we were warned about, and that's exactly what hit this city and province. And today that wind is going to blow some of that around too. Like, I don't know if you noticed even on the residential streets this morning, but some of them were windswept already, even if they've been taken care of by the plows.
Yeah, absolutely. And correction, Joe, I know you already have one of these, but I got a snow thrower over the weekend.
Yes.
An electric one, battery-powered snow thrower. And oh my God, I can't believe I waited so long to get one of these. Of course, it's not for the big jobs, but you gotta keep up with it.
Maintenance.
I was out 3 times with it yesterday, and I absolutely love it. My back loves it too, so I'm pretty happy.
That sounds pretty cool.
Were you happy that you lived in an apartment this morning and last night, Kirby?
I'm going to be honest. Whoever was plowing my apartment parking lot this morning got quite an eyeful, because I don't know what happened to my snow brush. Like, I don't know what happened to it. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's left my vehicle.
What does this have to do with the person that plowed your
What
snow?
was with the Eiffel?
They were literally working away.
Oh.
Meanwhile, I had to kind of like figure out how to get the snow off my vehicle with something else that I had. So I used the like visor that you can put out in the sun on your front window.
Yeah.
So I used that to kind of swipe half
you got to
of the
do what you
snow
got to
off.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just
Not our first little touch of snow. So I am surprised you don't have anything in the vehicle yet. But
Well, I did. I don't know what happened to it though. So
you got ripped off, or you fell out of the
First
vehicle.
thing these criminals look
Yeah,
for
the snow
nowadays.
snow brush, I
fell.
tell ya.
I'm telling you,
And
you
so-
check out your local pawn shop, Kirby, see if you can find
I got to go pick one up on the way back, on the way home, because
But it is.
No kidding.
you're gonna need it this morning.
Started Sunday morning, right? No.
Yeah,
Sunday
it
morning.
started yesterday morning and went throughout the night, yeah.
Yeah, we got a whack, man, and a lot of there's supposed to get colder this week, Joe, but it's not helping the situation. Is it's sloppy, like on a lot of the main drags for sure.
Right.
So that doesn't help, but they're out. The snow crews are out in force, getting the streets cleaned up. I hope they're looking half decent by rush hour. That would be nice. Mm-hmm. The next hour and a half.
Yeah, it'll be slow moving this morning and slippery at some intersections, so drive with caution this morning, and on the lookout for a lot of city crews out there.
And let us know how those highways are as well. I know we avoided the perimeter yesterday, even though we went to the Hockey for All Center from Transcona. We avoided the perimeter. We heard it wasn't very good. So
Did your GPS or Waze app, did it laugh at you when you and your house in Canterbury Park in Transcona had to put in what was the best route to get to the Hockey for All Center, and going, listen, you moron, couldn't you play a little closer to home tonight? And you said, I don't make the schedule.
it just kept saying to me, why are you going through the city, stupid? Why are you going through the city, stupid? That makes that drive
It's a
so
new feature
long.
these apps offer.
Philly Joe Kirby
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Call the Bone phone 780-BONE. Brought to you by Auto Gallery of Winnipeg.
The Bone Phone Hooligan. Don't hear from him as much as we used to. In fact, wasn't he retiring?
I didn't think that was going to happen. Semi-retirement, no?
Sounds like semi, and that's good because
Yes.
semi-retirement. If you want to cut back on your calls or whatever, that's fine, hooligan. But you can't go away completely.
What the is going on McPhillips at Pacific? Like, honest to God. I think somebody's with me, because now Murray and Riverbend, you can't go all the way to McPhillips because it's blocked off of the construction. And then I said, okay, I'll take Farrier, which is off Murray and leads you to, I can't even think to, I don't know what is wrong with me. Another route to get out of Riverbend. Well, it's under construction too. Like, what the is going on? Like, you can't get anywhere. Why are they starting construction projects in the winter? Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I believe you had a news story though, Kirby, towards the end of like in the fall that we would see construction projects in the winter, right?
Yeah, like I mean, I think they just work on a case-by-case basis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, like Portage Avenue, for example, as you get towards Polo Park.
Oh, that project's going till March.
Oh,
and it's down to one lane.
Oh,
yep.
So gross.
Frustrating is the word, but I'll tell you what, just go back to the hooligan for half a second. That alone, right there, will tell you that his people in the north end of Winnipeg, he cannot retire. Just for that group alone. For what he does. Remember, it all started with McPhillips and Leela.
You're darn right.
And who got the project done?
He did. We did. He did.
Well, yeah, through us. We're just the outlet.
That's right.
But it starts with the hooligan. There's no retirement.
You don't retire from this business, hooligan. I believe Tony Soprano said that once.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Last week, it was the professor who called up saluting his wife. Right?
Thankful Thursday.
Yeah, for running their house and just being awesome.
Hi, guys. PJK, the best in the West. So I was just calling just to talk about the gentleman that was speaking about his wife. And I just thought that was so awesome and wholesome and just, like, great of him to be able to say such sweet things about her. But I wanted to take the time to thank my husband. He's going to school right now. He's studying to be an IT, like computer administration. But I'm going to work every day, and he's holding it down at home. And I lucked out. I really did, with such a great partner. He's just so amazing in everything that he does. Takes care of us, and I don't say it enough. And he's really just like role reversal, and he's taking it like so well. He's just the epitome of like a wonderful partner. So I just thought I'd share the love because that guy shared the love, and keep on keeping on. Thanks.
Oh, I love love,
Okay. I'd like to thank him personally myself in advance. I have a couple of computer issues right now I could use a hand with, and if he's studying right now in IT.
Bang.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, hey, we can't all love love. I got a computer issue I got to deal with. I'm not loving right now.
I hate love, personally.
Can't stand it.
Can't stand it. Hey, all seriousness,
That's
though, that was
good.
a very nice call. I like it. Head and Shoulders, body washes. It came up on the program last week. Somebody wanted to know, like, can you use any old shampoo as shampoo and body wash?
Hey, my wife's a nurse, and I had eczema. With Head and Shoulders used as a body wash, it actually eliminated my eczema.
Wow.
Just thought maybe it'd be something you'd want to pass on.
Well, that's crazy. Wow.
It's unbelievable. I mean, most people have dry skin this time of year, right? Like you go through that lotion and everything else. Maybe that's a turning point for a lot of people with dry skin. I don't know.
Interesting.
His wife's a nurse.
Yeah. We're not certified dermatologists, but,
You know what? I would have just bought it if he told me. Even if his wife wasn't a nurse. It's the bone phone. Nobody lies on the bone phone.
Okay, more on the body wash debate.
Good morning, PJK. I have a response to the debate about if you can use shampoo as body wash. You can, but it's probably not best to replace your body wash using shampoo. Using shampoo as body wash consistently over time can dismantle the pH barrier and lead to irritated, inflamed, or distressed skin. A good body wash I would recommend is Dr. Squatch. It's all natural, and they have a lot of good products. I would just recommend them using Dr. Squatch.
So he's telling us the opposite of what that gentleman with his wife, the nurse, basically said, right? That he said after a while it would become an irritant to your skin. Is that right?
Basically,
okay.
Interesting.
And then recommending a product. God, the info is just flowing out of the bone phone today. And we'll wrap with a call about shepherd's pie because
good. Par for the course for our show.
It's the Welsh Dragon.
Hi, guys. This is the Welsh Dragon calling. You were talking about shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is a Scottish dish that if you lived out in the farm, you put anything you could find from your garden.
Mm-hmm.
That means lamb or beef or whatever,
Lamb, Kirby.
and you
What? In the garden?
If you're baking, you get your flour and you put it on top.
It's a good recipe.
And that's why they call it shepherd's pie, because it's a poor man's meal. Okay, bye.
You find the cutest lamb that you can get your hands on.
In the garden.
Well, he meant the farm,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then you get your vegetables from the garden. Give the man a break, Kirby. Like, you don't have to be all on him about the garden.
just
Just
think.
because you're a vegetarian. I mean, sometimes lamb can walk through the garden. Can they not?
She's so hung up
I
on
know.
that, though. Hey, the
No
garden.
point.
What's
Missed
the
the
lamb
whole-
doing in the garden?
Missed the whole recipe, but God.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Philly Joe and Kirby's Entertainment Rundown.
Listen, I don't know what it is about this day in history, but check out these movies released on this day in history. 1988, Twins with DeVito and Arnie. Funny movie. 1988, on this day, Mississippi Burning, a classic. Willem Dafoe and Gene Hackman. 2005, Brokeback Mountain, masterpiece from Heath Ledger, the late Heath Ledger. Syriana with Clooney and Damon on this day in 2005 was released. And on this day in 1983, Joe, you're going to love this.
You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy. I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy. The last time you're going to see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
That famous scene in the restaurant.
I got to see that movie at the theater, okay? And I got to tell you something, Kirby. We got some Colombians coming in. British Colombians. They're bringing in apples. The great movie Scarface, Al Pacino.
Yeah.
You still see a lot of the merchandise out there on all these sites with the T-shirts and
Cult classic.
I
Like,
used to love Michelle Pfeiffer was in that
Yes.
movie. Oh boy, she's a
Epic
lady
film.
tiger.
I want to throw this out because my mom used to watch it too. On this day in 1960, Coronation Street, the TV
Oh,
show
wow.
premiered.
Wow.
Anybody else's
huge.
parents used to watch that? I did. My mom did, not my
I
dad.
think my grandparents did.
Yeah. Hey, we have a not so new movie review coming up later. Speaking of
We
the
do.
80s.
Oh, I was going to ask you off air if you got a chance because
Yeah.
it was a hectic weekend. We didn't get a chance to remind you, but you got her.
I got her in.
Nice.
She reminded herself. She told me on Friday.
Yeah.
That's what she was doing this weekend.
So
yeah?
that would be Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man at 8:10.
Speaking of reminders, everybody on the Boston Pizza text line is reminding us that you left your scraper, your brush, in your old vehicle when you traded it in. That's a lot of people are reminding
that's
us of that.
Right.
Yes.
I was wondering where it was this morning, and I was like, where the hell? I thought I had one, but I guess.
If you're
There you
looking
go.
for a pre-owned vehicle with a scraper, there's one available.
I want my scraper back. Do you think they kept it in the lost and found?
No. Yeah,
Okay.
That's gone.
So-
Okay, so experts, like, you know how they reveal like the most dangerous songs to listen to while driving and stuff like that because of how many beats per second your heart rate gets to or whatever the case is? Well, Christmas songs, the most dangerous Christmas song that you can drive to that gets you your heart going and you want to make some dangerous moves behind the wheel, Frosty the Snowman.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
And then Mariah Carey's
Mine
All
would
I Want
be-
for Christmas Is You is next.
Boney M would be mine. What the hell's that song called? I forget.
Mary's Boy Child.
Yes, that one gets me going. I crank that every time.
Here's some ugly news from a story that's getting uglier by the day. It involves Sean Diddy Combs, the latest. This was broke by NBC last night, by the way. The first celebrity to be accused of sexual assault in connection with Combs is now Jay-Z. A woman is alleging that she was sexually assaulted by not only Combs, but also by Jay-Z. She was 13 years of age and now an adult, and it was at the same party. Like, this story is getting even
get
worse
uglier.
by the minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the latest. Came out from NBC, and it is all over social media as of this morning, like every site.
All right, that is your entertainment rundown for a Monday.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Take it easy on your drive-in.
That's it. That's what my grandfather would tell you. Take it easy.
penetrated my skull. I'm just throwing it out there now. It's Joe's thing, and I just start doing it.
Well,
Take it easy.
It's a cool one today, too. That's the other issue. If you're coming in from the city, we're getting all kinds of reports about how snow-packed, mostly snow-covered, and icy. So you can't even... hey, there's some parts in the city where the snow's been drifting because of this northwest wind, where it's hard to tell which lane you're in.
That's
so you're
right.
going to find a lot of that. The plows are out there. They've been out there all night. So keep up the great work, you guys.
We did get that one call about the west perimeter being plowed. Like a full report there. Travel lane is bare, but wet. Hammer lane is plowed, but snow covered. I love it. I love the breakdowns.
That's the piss trucker.
That's right.
Yes, lots of snow down Pamina.
What a day Friday at the Outlet Collection Winnipeg was. Dr. Goodbear's holiday give-a-thon, raising over $100,000.
How about that?
It's going to get matched, too, by different donors, but our buddy Ken and Peggy Talbot, their match goes right through till December 31st. So if you couldn't make it down, you can still do so by hitting the Children's Hospital Foundation of Manitoba's website, goodbear.ca.
Yeah.
So that goes right through till the 31st. Those totals will all be added up. But yeah, what a nice little start to a one-day affair, $100,000.
It was so heartwarming just to take part in a day like that ahead of the holidays, and just to meet some of the families involved with the Children's Hospital Foundation.
It's always fun spending a day at the mall. The Christmas music is playing. People are coming by. We've got touching stories and just incredible donations. You got the mayor took time out of his busy schedule to come by for an interview. You had the premier, Wab Canoe, come by and do an interview with us. Adam Bighill.
Chris Jericho was in town for his father's 80th birthday and was listening all day and decided to come by and make a donation, too. I think the most important thing was Kirby ended up buying a new purse, and I thought it was fabulous.
You bought a purse that day?
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
And a robe.
Oh, I didn't know about the robe.
Yeah, those were the two things that I really wanted.
So
that went out and got them.
So that was in between, we went 6 till 11 on the air, then Big Daddy Kane took over. So that was during Big Daddy Kane's shift. You went out and did some shopping.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to me. You got some presents. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice when you're, single and you don't have to shop for anybody but yourself.
Who better to buy for than yourself anyway? Really.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
You're going to love this, Kirby. So not only have Joe and I been accused of having the same boots, that happened last. Oh, it was fellow staff members here at the building, younger guys, Angus and Anton. We're having a good chuckle that Joe and I have the same boots, or similar looking boots.
And somebody also pointed it out on the video you posted on our social media from mall walking on Friday.
Well, donut eating.
Yeah, I think they pointed it out after we mentioned it. They were wise.
Referring to it, yeah.
Yeah, they were referring to the fact that Joe and I have similar looking boots. This is a very popular looking boot. So it is what it is, but I'm totally cool with having something that is similar to Joe's wardrobe.
Vice versa.
Now, I come in this morning and I'm so pumped because I finally got my paws on a snow thrower, basically a snow blower that's smaller and less power. But in talking to a bunch of my buddies, and it was suggested, hey, you get a snow thrower, a smaller one, because you'll use it more. And I've heard stories of people with the big-ass snow blowers. They don't use them very often because they don't haul them out. Rarely do we get a big enough snowfall to pull out these giant snow blowers. So a few people have said, get a smaller one. So I went out on the weekend and I bought a snow thrower. It's this battery-operated, awesome machine. I love it. I go out a few times anyway, and usually I'd shovel. But now, for example, the past few days with all the snow, out there with my snow thrower, saving my back. I tell Joe about it this morning, and what does he tell me?
Got the same one. Last winter.
You got to start calling each other before you make these purchases, okay? Because now you've got the same shoes, the same snowblower. Thrower,
yeah.
Sorry, okay? You could start a little, club together.
Snow thrower club?
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy. I didn't even
members
know.
online, have a bit of a meetup, talk about the best, way to tackle the snow in your yard.
I have a snow service that does my snow.
Yeah.
We purchased this more or less to make a track for Stewie, who's a Frenchie, so he's low to the ground in the backyard. We don't want him to use his little thingy there as a rudder, like in the yard. He'd freeze. So we keep it in the back, but it could be very well used for a driveway as well. It would just take a little longer because it's not the widest, right? But,
I feel like I need to get one now.
For your apartment. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
I'll tell you what.
How big is this thing? Does it come with a backpack?
It's good. It's a good
Who
size.
cares how big it is? What are you going to use it for?
Joe, have you seen how much the snow piles up on my balcony?
No, I bet. That's the first thing you want. Throw it over the balcony. That would be awesome.
It's still a good size. Like it did.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. It's way quicker than shoveling and way less. You just got to get on it quick. You're not out there doing, knee-high, even shin-high snow with one of these. You want to get on it quick.
Did your battery last for the whole driveway?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Did it 3 times yesterday. Battery was fine all 3 times.
Battery charge.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's unbelievable. And I'm so excited that Joe and I now have the exact same snow thrower.
I don't even know how to work in the same room with you two.
Mm-hmm.
It's the name of our first album, Beige Shoes and a Snow Thrower.
That's PJK Extra.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
You ever look at instructions when you buy something that needs to be assembled? And, this is how it is in 2024. I'll look at instructions on like paper instructions for about 30 seconds, and then I'm looking it up on YouTube for a video of a demonstration of the assembly.
I'll take it a step further. I used to keep not only like the instruction sheet, I used to put it in a file and in my filing cabinet.
What?
You keep it?
Oh, I used to.
Yeah, I keep it.
File?
Well, yeah, because if you ever had to look up
instructions?
something for the fridge or the dishwasher, okay, here you go. Look under dishwasher. There it is in my filing cabinet.
Kind of smart, yeah.
Yeah, no, not really, because everything you can YouTube now, I was just keeping clutter.
But it's still okay. I don't mind. So that's funny that you say that, because I don't use instruction books if there's a decent YouTube video, and usually there is. You can try to build anything you buy nowadays. There's pretty much always going to be an instructional video on YouTube on how to build it.
I like to challenge myself. I don't even like to look up any instructions and just kind of wing it until I get to the point of realizing that maybe I do need assistance.
The hardest thing I ever did was a barbecue.
Oh, I would never do one of those.
would
And
never
here's the
attempt.
best part. This was before YouTube, okay? So there's no YouTube. You got the instructions. They were in German, which made it even harder. It was like outside of the diagram, I'm going, I know, comprende.
Yeah, no thanks on a barbecue. They offer you installed now.
Yeah, for a
And
premium, but you might as well pay it.
I'll pay it. You could. I don't want to give away like that they could be charging more, but I don't
No
care what
kidding.
they charge. I will get it
There's
built.
certain things that I just will
Barbecues?
not assemble.
Well, you're assembling things without instructions, Kirby. I got to be totally honest. That surprises me a little bit. That you're sitting there going, I don't need instructions, and I don't need an instructional
video.
video.
Things put together at my apartment, I think you might have a different
man.
opinion.
But instruction books never make any sense. So and they're so confusing.
Or you
So-
want to flip pages. Hey, once you think you got, you're down through diagram A, B, and C, and you go, oh, come on, I don't need this anymore. Then all of a sudden you got a bag full of screws still left.
My favorite is when it shows me that it's a two-person job where it
Yes.
has 2 people in the instruction booklet, and I'm like, well, I'm only one, so I guess we're gonna try to make this a one-person job.
Somebody on the Boston Pizza text line, Philly, you pay to get a barbecue put together? Hand in your man card. Listen, okay, could I do it? Probably. Probably need some. There's a lot of pieces in a barbecue.
Just because you could do something doesn't mean you should do something.
Exactly. It's so much faster to have them install it.
That's it. They're the experts.
But yeah, right.
You go to Lux Barbecue. They don't need me telling them how to put a barbecue together. They're going to do it for me.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
92.1 City, Winnipeg's rock station. White Zombie with PJK. 7:35 on a Monday morning.
And it's going to be one of those days driving today. We're getting so many people on the Boston Pizza text line reminding people to keep their lights on or turn them on in their vehicle if they haven't. Mm-hmm. That's too bad. That's a reminder almost constantly.
Constant, yes,
that
absolutely.
Your headlights need to be on, especially in this weather.
Boston Pizza text line, morning, guys. It's Rob, plumber dude. I'm like Joe. I keep all my instructions. I don't file them in alphabetical order, but they are in the filing cabinet in a Rubbermaid container bin. I've even kept the instructions and extra parts for my TV wall bracket. Good thing, because I bought a bigger TV and I had to go digging up the instructions and extra parts that I kept from the original TV wall bracket. Always good to have some extra parts. Have a great day.
If he needs any RCA cables or a little piece of coaxial cable, I've got a couple different lengths still in a Rubbermaid bin.
It's amazing what people hang on to, though, just in case they might need it.
Those cables for TVs, and they have to be the most kept item in any house.
Do you need the red or yellow one, or do you need the red, yellow, and white one? I've got the 3-prong or the 2-prong still left from an old cassette player, I think. I don't even know what else I could use them for nowadays.
You're like an old Radio Shack there at Casa.
You might as well be.
Whatever you might need. But instructions, I usually wind up chucking them in my toolbox, and I've got a whole stack of them down there.
Right.
And then once I've had the item for a few years, I'll just get rid of it. But there's always extra parts. There's always instructions, and do you keep them? That's a good... Kirby, do you keep the instructions? You're telling us this morning that you can build without instructions, and that you built a TV once, and ever since you've... or a TV stand, or I don't know what it was, but ever since you've never doubted yourself, and on that day you decided you would believe in yourself.
Oh my God, I was telling these guys that. Because I'll never forget the moment when you live by yourself and you open up something that you have to put together, and it shows a 2-person job. You think to yourself, well, I could either wait until I have a friend come over, or I could just attempt this by myself. And that's exactly what I've done for most of the things. And one of them was my TV that required two people, and I did it by myself.
Is it hanging on a wall now?
No, it's up on a...
Oh, on a stand?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it a little easier. The second person obviously would have had to have held the TV for you.
So you don't drop
Those are tough to put on a wall.
Yeah, I don't even know how I got it up there.
No, that's good. On a stand. Yeah, well, you had to carry it up.
But
that
I
was
believe
the key.
in myself now.
We believe in you.
Yeah.
But I will say this.
We never doubted you, ever.
The one tool I can never seem to find that I've lost along the way anytime you purchase is one of those Allen keys.
Oh, I have them everywhere.
Yeah,
because they come in the box.
100 of them.
100 of them. But good luck finding the one size you need with the next item that you buy. You can have 100 of them, but I'm telling you right now, you will spend hours upon hours finding the one that actually fits the latest one.
Someone says Kirby doesn't even put her own gas in. Yes, but that's not building a TV stand.
Listen, just because I run low on gas often does not mean...
Oh, back into this now?
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
And now, Philly Joe and Kirby present the not-so-new movie review.
Tough biker Harley Davidson teams up with his cowboy hat wearing buddy, known as the Marlboro Man, to help save the bar of a mutual friend. Enacting a plan to rob an armored bank vehicle, the two are surprised to find that they've heisted a massive shipment of a new drug. Soon, the corrupt bank head sends trained killers to take out Harley and Marlboro, with the duo fighting for their lives. 1991's Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, starring Mickey Rourke, Don Johnson, Daniel Baldwin, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, my favorite part, I think, was that the bar owner was Jack Daniels. That was their mutual friend. And,
oh, man.
Excuse me, but the bar, if I remember correctly, was it not just called the Rock and Roll Bar and Grill or something?
Yes, it was something very, very basic like that. I had a good laugh.
Listen, for the first time, this is a not-so-new movie review that I have not seen. It was suggested on the Boston Pizza text line, And then, Joe, you backed it up that it would be a good one for Kirby to see. So I really have no say in this. It's all on Kirby. And, Joe, you want to jump in because you've seen this.
Well, it grossed only $7 million. It was scheduled to gross about $23 million. I'm happy to say I was part of that $7 million. I saw it at the theater. And Kirby, I remember it as a pretty good movie back in its day.
Yeah, maybe back in its day. I mean, what could you really expect in a movie where you have like a dude rocking the cowboy look, and then you've got the other dude who's got a earring, a very large earring, and he rides a bike and he's pretty badass. And then, of course, they got to work together. So it's like that buddy cop kind of like dynamic. And I thought that their chemistry between the two characters were like, it was funny.
With Mickey Rourke and Don Johnson.
Yes, yeah, the two of them.
Don Johnson was the Marlboro Man, and Mickey Rourke,
Yes,
who
was
looks
the biker.
completely different now than he did back then. Like,
It's totally different,
Oh,
honestly.
yeah.
Like,
too much work done to that face.
crazy, really, when you see him in like
The Wrestler.
back in
Oh,
this
yeah.
movie. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. There was a part where I fell asleep. Like,
It better not have been the part when you find out that Jack Daniels, the owner of the bar, was still miffed with Harley because Harley had a relationship with his wife, Lulu.
Oh, yes.
Lulu.
Lulu.
He held that against him.
well, I mean, it wasn't one of my favorites, but I got through it, and
I got through it. That's always a ringing endorsement. Eh?
I don't know. It was just. I'll be interested because I did see that they're remaking this. Hey,
Oh,
Yes,
boy, with
that was the-
Jason Momoa.
and Tom Hardy.
Wow.
Yes.
That was the whole
Like-
idea, I think, about how this movie came up from a few people.
So that's going to be the interesting take now that I've seen the one from '91 and then the reboot when it comes out next year.
Holy cow, Momoa's like a giant next to Tom Hardy, though, in size and everything.
Momoa's
It'll
a
be
huge
interesting.
man.
Yeah.
It will be, interesting to
Okay,
see them take
Kirby,
on that role.
it got 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. What say you?
I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah,
Got
sorry,
through it.
JoJo.
No, it's okay. I'm not taking
I'm
personal
sure
offense.
in 1991, when you spent that money on that movie ticket to go
was
check
worth
it
it.
out,
Did
It
you
was
go with
worth
a
it.
girl and make out in the back of the theater?
I would have definitely made out during that
1991.
movie.
Maybe.
Maybe.
1991, maybe.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I think we can probably try and put a bow on a couple of things that have been, discussed on the program here with PJK on 92.1 City for the better part of a week now. Start with the shepherd's pie thing. Joe is a no on shepherd's pie. So is Kirby. It's more of a, although you will eat it, Kirby, with a vegetarian twist. Is that what you're not anti shepherd's pie?
No, I actually really enjoy it. It's something I grew up with it being made around the dinner table. So I've now learned how to make it,
Vegetarian.
but with lentils instead of meat.
Yeah, which really was such a game changer for somebody like myself.
And Joe's a no.
Nah, not
Yeah.
my thing.
It seems like a lot for you.
You
a lot
get-
in one dish.
Well, right. Because Joe, you don't like food all mashed together. You like your
Yeah.
food separate on your plate. To the point where we were out at Outlet Collection Winnipeg
Yeah.
on Friday.
A couple of different people brought me some paper plate variety of separated plates, which I really appreciated, and some steel, like
a
stainless
full-on
steel.
prison tray, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's been a weapon in different movies. The steel food tray with the right? Police Academy. Someone takes one of those in the head.
I'm going to use it in my own TV show called Orange is the New Aiello. My own stainless steel tray.
Do you put mashed potatoes in your shepherd's pie? Your
Yes,
vegetarian?
that's like
Okay,
the
same.
best part of the shepherd's pie.
Well, I mean, truth be told, I haven't had. My mom used to make it, and
The
that's why-
crust is great, though, eh?
Oh, it gets crispy on top.
Yeah.
So that we can wrap that up.
I'm not
Although
a big stew guy, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
It's got a stewy feel to it.
Sure,
There's
it does.
gravy.
Yeah. That's not really my
Do you
thing.
like chili?
I love chili.
Interesting.
Why?
Well, chili's a lot different than shepherd's pie,
yeah.
though.
Well,
but it's
chili
things mixed
has
together.
like a lot of things mixed together.
Yeah.
I'm just learning about you. It's okay. Don't get defensive.
No, I get defensive when it comes to food, Kirby.
Well, I'm just trying to learn about you.
Oh, really?
Trying to figure you
I'm
out.
trying to learn about my friend Joe.
Yeah, a lot to learn.
Aren't you happy that she's trying to learn about you? Okay, and then the body wash conversation. I think we're safe to say, like, we've had doctors and nurses and scientists call the show.
And even a product with the name doctor in front of it.
Dr. Squatch. So I'm just going to call it. You know, like John King calls things on CNN. He's calling it. You can use shampoo for body wash. If you're washing your hair with Head and Shoulders, go ahead and wash the rest of your body with it.
Let me take you back to 2020 when Dr. Head and Shoulders was not a doctor. It was just Head and Shoulders. And then you could use it on your body. That was in 2020. Here in 2024, you can see right now that it will help the skin.
There.
Let's take a look at the skin.
Done as only John King could.
Just don't, I would just keep it out of your nether regions, I would assume.
It might
Why?
burn.
It's called Head and Shoulders.
Well, yeah, keep it above the head and shoulders.
I'll test it out. I'm willing to take
Oh
one
my
for the
God.
team.
Feel the burn.
If you're not here tomorrow because you have some sort of chemical burn in your nether regions, I don't know what to say.
You know what? I would love to hear that as the excuse from anybody, and they deserve a day off if they can say that without laughing.
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.